Get in the game with the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Bet on the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, soccer, golf, MMA, and more. Every sport, every market, right at your fingertips. Deposit instantly with PayPal, Venmo, or Apple Pay, starting at just $10. Win big and cash out fast. PayPal in 24 hours or instantly at retail sportsbooks. Available in over 20 states, FanDuel's app is your ticket to the action. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now.
I guess we could start off with telling us about how your experience was this weekend with the show. I actually watched like a lot of the highlights, and I found myself laughing a lot. Like there was a lot of good spots I thought were funny. The demon puppet was hysterical. Of course, Omos and Microman was hysterical. I noticed that, and I hate putting over your company AAA because you would bury any company that I was a booker of too. So, but I was impressed with the crowd pops. There were a lot of them, a lot of big pops. How was your experience? How was it working with the WWE production team?
I think the same. My opinion hasn't changed since I got there. Everybody's professional. Everybody's there to work. Everybody's there to collaborate, and no excuses. Whatever you're told, you have to do it. That's all there is to it. Jeremy's great to work with, and Corey and JBL were great to work with, and I got a lot of messages from a lot of friends I hadn't heard from in a long time. And I was very surprised by that little video package with Penta and Black Magic and all that, and Road Dogg. And so it was a really good night. It was a really good night. Great numbers all the way around.
Well, let's talk about that. Hang on.
What a great.
Let's talk about these
just
numbers.
Just 1 second. What a great pop when Shawn Michaels came to the ring and Triple H. Mm-hmm. Huge, bro.
But, yeah.
I mean, and when you think about it, we grew up watching these guys. You're watching actual legends that were part of Great Angles or wrote Great Angles or are writing Great Angles right now, and they just know. Like remember when I used to say, Disco, that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, remember when I used to say that? When George Bush walked into a room with Cheney and Colin Powell and Condoleezza Rice, and you were like, this guy's got some smart around him. When a Bruce Pritchard and Heyman,
were they all there?
Heyman wasn't there, neither was Bruce.
But, it was just Hunter and Sean, NXT guys, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he came out for the ring introduction.
There was a quote that you might have seen too, Disco. I don't know if Konnan has, but Hunter said basically, it's a huge surprise to him. Like he's like, if you would have asked me 20 years ago or told me that 20 years in the future, Undertaker would be such a major part of AAA creative, he's like, I wouldn't have believed you.
So here's another question. Who was the fan that you cussed at when you were doing your ceremony? What did the guy say?
I don't know who he is, but
I'm gonna say, what did the guy say to you that you went off?
Well, the whole night he'd been people,
right?
But what really got me is that I don't need to tell you, because you know this as a fact, how much I love Aaliyah, my goddaughter, and Angie, and they were going back at each other, and I said, you know what, enough's enough with this drunk clown.
So he was mouthing off in the crowd to those girls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so then you went off on. That's when you went off on him. Right. I get it.
And here's the funniest part. The funniest part is, the people could have really reacted negatively, but they all popped because they were like, "This guy deserves it. He's being
right." Everybody around there knew what was going on, and you cut the right. The guy was everybody, right? Yeah.
Right. He got burned 3 times by me, but that's good.
Joe, I sent you a clip. Let's pull that up. I love how the Braves now, with the month to go in the season, decided to start playing good when they're completely
out. I know, right?
Unbelievable. All right, what do you say here? Let's hear this.
TripleMania, WWE sent out their usual deal about all these records,
some of which were totally made up. I mean, it was legitimately a sellout. It was the biggest gate that they ever had. It's probably the biggest gate for pro wrestling ever in Mexico, because in the old days they didn't have ticket prices like they charge now. Gate wise, I'm sure they set a record. Attendance wise, it was probably the biggest TripleMania in several years. I think they claimed like record viewership, and that's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's, if they're going to,
They claim the highest grossing and most viewed TripleMania
Yeah, it can't be the most viewed because
in history.
TripleMania was on network TV in the past in Mexico. I mean, that's going to be way more views. And they've done millions. The Dr. Wagner and Psycho Clown mask match aired right after, like, I think it was right after a Canelo fight, but after a giant boxing match, and did like giant numbers. I mean, way beyond. I mean, even if way beyond anything that the show did. So, I mean, that the idea it was the most viewed. Again, like they've had TripleManias on network television in Mexico that were much bigger.
Yeah, but I don't think he gets it though. Viewership is not just network. The previous when they were on network TV, that was the only viewership you had. I still don't think these guys understand the level of viewership you're getting on all these other media platforms. And I mean, what do you got to say to those comments?
No, I was going to say the same thing because, you can say, oh, yeah, back in our days, between Raw and Nitro, we were doing 10 million people. Yeah, there's only one way to consume it. There's so many different ways. You can't tell me that, I mean, I don't know how to compare the numbers, but the product's super hot and that's all that matters. As far as the highest TripleMania, I still hold that record, which was TripleMania 1, 50,000 people, which I'm sure one day WWE will go into Estadio Azteca, which holds like 100,000 and probably pack that. But I don't know anything about the numbers. Either way, I don't ask. I don't care. I just read, the press releases, and we have meetings like inter-department company meeting every week, and then you hear numbers there. But I don't really pay too much attention. I just know the product was hot because you can tell by the amount of people that write,
Right. Yeah, you know when something's hot.
Right.
I mean, it's like
you don't need numbers to tell you.
We've been doing this for so long. Like when it's hot. It's like you get a lot of feedback. Like I mean, like
check the numbers to make sure. Yeah,
everybody's watching this. It's like a billion for like but it's kind of interesting too. It's it just shows you in Mexico, and this is like the first time you guys have done this. Like bro, the American wrestlers kind of like the Americanized when they're seeing these American wrestlers come over there. It's a draw. It's been a draw in CMLL. It's a draw here. It was a draw in AAA when you were using the AEW guys. The CMLL users like they were a draw. Now it's like that. The WWE stars are coming down. It's like this. I mean, just imagine what the Mexican people think. Like they're getting WWE stars on these shows now. So it's like, I thought it was funny.
Plus, the thing is, they're having fun. A lot of them have never been there. They're exposed to another culture, food, style, everything, Right. And I think every single person that came down had a great time. Right. It's cool, bro. Yeah, it's violent, but it's no different than going into Chicago and hanging out on the South Side and then, and wondering why you got. You know what I'm saying?
Or
so
Delco,
you're working. How's it working with the WWE guys?
What did you say, Joe?
I said, or Delco. Delco in Mexico, probably the same amount of danger.
Yeah.
No?
You're a dangerous guy. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this: How is it working with the WWE guys? Like,
I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something. So I love when people leave WWE and they come to AAA. This is before we started working, because they came in so polished. That's the one thing you got to give them credit, bro. All their people are media savvy. They're just well dressed, polished, and easy to work with. Yeah.
Show up on time.
Right.
It's like a big problem.
We don't do right.
Right. What was else we going to ask you? It's funny too, because it's like TripleMania was coming up. It's obviously going to be a big show, but it was funny that Dave was on his rant talking about how CMLL is the hottest company on the planet right now. That's just like
on the planet.
Right. Yeah, it's like the hottest company.
Hotter than WWE.
I mean,
I don't see them going to other countries and selling out.
Right. Yeah, but good stuff. I was impressed. You guys know what you're doing. You got the viral spots. I love the way was it the WWE production crew you're working with, Konnan, or is it your?
Yeah, both.
Okay.
They're like training ours.
Right, and you love how like they shot the Mr. Iguana demon thing.
Right.
You know, they had the perfect shots,
Right.
you know, like stuff
Right.
like, you know, the thing that just, yeah, it's just, I mean, you just had, what's the morale like backstage with the, you know, the AAA guys and like knowing that WWE guys are coming in to work with them?
I think the morale is very high. Just you've got two types of thinking. One is when they start making cuts, am I going to be one of the guys get cut?
Right.
Or am I going to stay? And I think that might be the main.
Yeah, well, that's it's competitive,
right,
bro. That, you know, all these guys have been resting on their laurels. Hey, I gotta work hard and perform well. Now I can't. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So
just
that's cool.
because I'm over in Mexico doesn't mean I'm going to be over in the U.S.
Right. Yeah, well, good stuff. I was fixing. I wanted to bury a lot of this stuff, but I was actually popping a lot of those spots.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
How was it work with Omos? Because you haven't had the nicest things to say about his work on this show.
No, he did not say hi to me either, so I'm sure you heard it.
Right.
Who didn't say hi to you?
But he did good though, right?
He seemed like, yeah, he did real good. He's massive. I don't know if he got bigger,
right?
But he is absolutely massive.
Well, you could give him the cross treatment there and just have him come in and just, you know,
right.
Like, you know what you could do with him? Almost?
I know they like him, so you never know.
Here was two ideas that I came out with creatively from that show. Number one, you could make almost like we could redo the 911 character from a version of that from ECW. You know, well, that's like literally all the guy, he comes, like, you know, things are going wrong and everything, and then he comes out, you know, like,
right.
you know, and the number two thing, let me read you what Dave said about why Vikingo is getting booed.
Right.
Did you see this?
No.
All right.
I've been out of the loop, bro. Like I told you before, when I go to work, I'm not looking on my phone.
Right. Yeah, you're working there. Oh, by the way, how was it? How was your health this weekend? Because this is like the first time I think you've come back from a trip and you look and sound fine. Like you're. Well, 100%.
It wasn't exhausting as the other one. Remember, the other one, what broke me down was I flew from San Diego to Orlando, which is 5 hours.
Right.
Worked in Orlando for 2 days with hardly any sleep.
Right.
And then flew 5 hours from Orlando to LA. So when I got there, I was exhausted. I hadn't traveled like that in many, before, bro. We were traveling 30 days, working out, partying. You know what I'm saying? And nothing, because you're young,
Right.
But it did hit me hard the last time. But I was really concerned because I know I didn't do a good job. And I didn't think they were going to call me back, you know, and they gave me another chance,
Right. Interesting. Okay. All right. So here's what he said. What happened? This is Dave from the Wrestling Observer Radio. Okay. What happened with El Hijo del Vikingo essentially is that Alberto El Patron is a really smart worker and he worked matches with him and treated him like he was a job guy. And so people see this job guy as world champion. They don't hate Vikingo. They hate that he's world champion. There's a big difference because he's great. He doesn't do anything to be hated or anything. It's not like he's got the John Cena thing at all. Just the people do not see him as a worthy world champion. And as long as he's world champion, he's going to get booed a lot. What do you think about the accuracy of that statement?
Yeah, that's not true because when he was world champion before Alberto came back, everybody cheered him. Right. What happened here was twofold. One, Alberto was just, like I said, bro, no disrespect to anybody. And if it is taken, good. The guy was probably the best heel in any company,
Right.
And so he and me and him worked perfectly. Like we had the same vision of what we wanted to do.
Right.
But I think what really buried Vikingo is when they, by mistake, somebody in graphics put that he was going to be the champion.
Right.
And people are like, oh, okay, so you don't want to give it to Alberto and you're going to take it off and you're going to give it to him. That's not right. Because even yesterday, and I don't know if you heard this, the people started to chant, Alberto. Yeah. And Ray actually said, don't worry, I'm going to bring him out later. And he has so much credibility, they believed him and popped.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking that this would be because Vikingo's getting booed, right?
Right.
Bro, what if you did this? Is like if you interview, like the crowd is waiting outside before the show. You know how sometimes they go and talk to the fan, like you get these people and you're talking to the fans that are in line waiting to come to the show, right?
Right.
I would send somebody out there with a mic and just ask the fans, well, why do you think Vikingo is getting so much hate? Why and listen to the actual fan reactions. Okay, like what the fans are saying coming in, like, and splice that up, and like splice the answers up into whatever narrative you want to sell going forward with them, and like a video package of why the fans are treating Vikingo like this.
Good idea.
You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be like a thing you could do, because like, bro, it's he's just going to keep getting booed. So eventually, like, like you either feed into it or find whatever you do. But like, I think that'd be a cool thing in a video package for the fans, just telling why they dislike Vikingo. You know what I'm saying? Because it is kind of confusing. Like, people are watching this, why is this guy getting booed out of the building? So
from what I've seen, comments wise and social media and stuff, is people compare it to 2015 Roman Reigns.
Right.
Where he had the push, he was getting pushed towards the belt, and people were like, kind of gagging on it.
No, because like I said,
he was over before.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So and so, what would have been the best thing to have done yesterday?
What?
I'm not saying they needed to, and I'm not saying it's time, but the most over guy on that match was Dominic.
Right.
If Alberto Del Rio would have come in and done some move to Vikingo, and then Dominic beats him with the frog splash, that place would have gone absolutely wild.
I thought it was Alberto when AJ came in the mask. I quickly saw it wasn't, because I could see the eyes, but I was like, oh my God, they're using Alberto. Like, this is crazy. And it wasn't. It was AJ, which is still cool, but
Right.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.